I can't even fake it, bro. I threw my hands in the air and I just wanted to pretend like it was better than it is. What's up, everyone? I am worn out. The High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, light worker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American Sybil. I am your messenger of God, the goddess of the moon that reigns over your mind and your emotions, your spiritual psychoanalyst, the Lilith reincarnated. In order to keep up with me, you had to see what I posted on my community page and my latest live video and my shorts. What's going on? I went through this unbelievable dark night of the motherfucking soul like 2 hours ago that I thought I was gonna die. I was sitting on the edge of the fucking universe right there on the stoop, contemplating all my life's decisions, as we do a lot around here. I turned to Diana. I was like, how often would you say you get suicidal thoughts? How often do you get to a point where you just don't want to wake up tomorrow? Like you don't have it in you to face tomorrow. It's like, I am so tired of tomorrow today. Really, dude, I'm sitting there and I'm like, fuck, I've got to get up and go to the fucking store. And I'm like, I can't do it. And the store is like, you know, I don't know, a mile away. And I'm like, I can't do it, dude. I can't do it. Diana's like, you could just go to the store at the top of the, like, behind the building. I was like, bro, I can't even do it. I can't even do it. She's like, dude, I could go for you if you want. I was like, thank God. And it was like, geez, I couldn't even force my body to fucking move. I really want to blame this card because I have no idea anything about this card, and it's like individuality. What are we talking about right now? Does this have anything to do with my dark night of the soul? I'm not sure, so I'm going to pull out my Lilith cards and double check, and we're going to go back to this damn fucking card that's been sitting here all day. You know what happened while I was sitting out with Diana? We're sitting there and talking through it, and I swear to fucking God, a white car pulls up, and the dude, I told you, the first dude that came on to me, gets out of the car and grabs his baby. Who's this guy? Oh my God, Becky, do you want the whole fucking Maury Povich called Jerry Springer type shit? His girl, that I didn't know till the day they moved out, his girl, who was pregnant when I moved in here, that Morgan was so irritated with because she said she slept with her baby daddy. I was like, are you sure? This, that, and the other. Sure enough, she has the baby, and this fucking baby looks just like Morgan's child. And that's all triggering because I have my own 2-time story of that bullshit. And as they're moving out, I realized that the guy that's just like, he says literally, and Morgan laughed so hard, it was funny to them. It was. It's still funny to me. He says to me, he's like, in Spanish and shit, "Estás hermosa," which means like, it's like, you're beautiful. He said, "Cuando estás solo, when I'm alone, I'm gonna marry you. Voy a casar contigo." I was like, yeah, okay. He's all just, you know, all this stuff. And then after he said it, I started to think about all the times he was always like, I'll just be walking through the building and he's smiling and hi. I didn't think about all those highs. There was a lot of high fives over there. A lot of high fives going on right there. And so anyways, I talked about this guy. There was that guy. There was this guy. And then the second guy that triggered me all today. And I'm like, no way, bro. I'm sitting there and I'm talking to Diana. And I'm like, Diana looks over and she's like, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. And I'm like literally about to cry. I cannot believe this is happening right now. No way am I. God is not this mean. I cannot believe you, God. I cannot believe you, God. I cannot believe you, God. Are you really going to just literally salt the wound? And he's not a bad guy. I'm like, don't look at me. Don't say hi to me. Don't say hi to me. Don't say hi to me. What does he do? Smile and say hi? I'm like, come on. Right? And then we're sitting there waiting to catch the elevator. And on the other side, I'm like, oh my God, is that the guy? And I was like, hold on, I think I'm being paranoid now. I'm freaking out. Oh my God. Oh God. I just want to get out of this place. I'm having a dark night of the soul. My head hurts. My everything hurts. The body keeps the count, right? So you like, what does that mean? You shove your emotions and your memories and your feelings, you shove all this shit in your body and you try to hide it from, the world to see, called the shadow. You try to hide it, and it shows in your flesh for people like me that read the energy. You try to hide all your secrets inside of your body, right? And sometimes it gets to a point where you can't hide anymore in there, and then it explodes, and the body can't hold it anymore. So in that moment of the full explosion of the trigger that happened, my body couldn't take it anymore. It's like the mind will shut down, and then the body shuts down, and then I'm just sitting here, fucking totally wore out, just trying to get to the store. I'm just sitting here like a kid on ADHD medicine that can't move. I'm like, I just need to get to the store. Please, body, you can do this. You can do this. I couldn't. You can't. The body can't. You have to recognize that when the body gives out, and it will. And that's usually, I used to work so hard in my life that I would not actually rest until those times when the body would just give out. I couldn't push it any further. Really? Yeah. And the brain? Yeah, that's even worse. That thing will turn off. It's like, oh, I can't handle this. I'm going bye-bye now. You're useless. What am I supposed to do here? I have no life skills to deal with this. Really? Yeah, welcome to the soul experience. Why did I get placed in the body? Karma, bitch, karma. This is not funny. Tell that to my mind. I do all the time. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? What a nice Monday I had. How was your guys' fun day Monday? It was beautiful. Until that moment. One moment can change your whole world. And where'd that put me? Obviously in a bad place. It validated why God wanted me to stand up, but it also validated my fears of why I never did before. It put me in a position and that's where it is. It's like, it's going to keep repeating until you stop the pattern. And that's what I was talking about, sorry, my brain's fried. I told you that thing turned off first. Diana. I was like, that's our problem. It's because, we just sit there rotting with these thoughts and these memories, and we never tell nobody. And that's the worst part. That's what I was dealing with, was the guilt of not saying anything, because that's all it took. They're like, why didn't you tell us sooner? And then I look like I'm dumb. Why didn't I? And it wasn't about this situation, but I realized in all of my life, why didn't you just tell anybody? That was the whole problem. It's like, oh, welcome to the discovery zone. And it makes it really tense, and like, obviously we're creeping through the building, and I feel very paranoid, obviously. I was like, am I racial profiling? Is that him? Really? I don't know, I just got freaked out. I was standing there, and this dude walked by, and I thought it could be him, and I turned around and started freaking out again. She did validate it, though. He didn't leave the building all day. He didn't leave all day. And I didn't see his girl, and she didn't either. And we usually see them throughout the day. So if you're watching, you can fucking hide in your room, but it's going down, you bastards. I'm gonna pull these Dark Night of the Soul cards, and we're gonna talk about my individuality. And that's what I said. I was like, she said, I met you at the best time in my life. I was like, I'm glad I met you. And I was like, no, I appreciate it. I was like, it helps me to know that, you know what I mean? I'm not alone, and it's not cool, dude, that we're all fucked up, or this is not cool that, you know what I mean? There's people like us. And I was like, and then I started talking about Morgan. And I was like, and then there's Morgan. And I was like, Morgan doesn't even cry. She's the most positive person, though, dude. She doesn't even cry. Like, I don't even know how to get Morgan to cry. She's not even a crier. She's real positive and stuff, and maybe she does in her own space, but she's not like us. She's not that kind of, she hasn't poured out her feminine energy like that. She's very loving and very all of that, but not the crying part. So she, I don't know, that's her working on her car, I suppose. We've been through so much shit, and our life stories, it's like, how did we all have the same life story? We're all from different places, different races, different times, and different faces, bro. We got the same ass motherfucking stories, bro. Same ass motherfucking stories. Her baby daddy's like my baby daddy, like her baby daddy, and they done did all of us the same dumb shit. For real, bro. God finds people just like, you know what I mean? Realistically. Alright, what is it? Where are we at? Separation. Going through separation anxiety. That is quite interesting. Given the energy prior to this bullshit. Jesus Christ. Then there's that. I don't mind doing all these things and going through all these things and doing it professionally, but then it's like, when I come back to my little space, it's like, whoa, that was a ride. Oops. I had nothing to do with that. I was like, whoa, that was a ride. I went to Venus, not 25, 35. And there's always these moments where you're like coming back into it and you're like, oh wow, is there anybody there? I posted that. But prior to this morning, I felt that. What did I feel? A pull on the energy. I find it interesting when I get those pulls from the guys. What is it? A do you love me pull? It's like, I'm guided. How do I know it is? Because out of nowhere, I'm guided to tell them, hey, I love you. Out of nowhere? Oh yeah, they've all gotten those messages out of nowhere. And it's like, I could sit there and be like, why do I want to, you know what I mean? In the middle of my day, where is this coming from? But it's like, my spirit is telling me, my higher self is saying that you need to hear this at this time. I was like, do you doubt that? Whatever I'm going through, and whatever you put me through, and I think you should be able to see that through Russ, I don't stop loving you guys. We just seem to drift farther away. And that is that you or me? Me? You're still the same. I know where to find you. I'll circle around in Mercury Rich. No, just kidding. I know exactly where I left you. Really? Yeah. Why did you leave? Can you see why? I had to go on with my healing journey. Did I physically move on? No, just mentally and emotionally. That's it. And that's why we can't make a connection. Because you're not emotionally ready yet. You're not mentally there. You haven't fought the mind like I do. We all have our battles of the mind, bro. Mine's really fucked off. I spend all day, you know what I mean, in peace until I have to. You know what I mean? And it's like I live in between. It's such a bullshit-ass world. Really? Yep. I live between the 3D and the 5D. After I can master my mind, then I'm able to access the 5D. When I walk through the 3D world, it triggers all this PTSD from the 3D, where I spend, you know what I mean, endless amount of hours doing all this psychological healing on myself, only to end up right back in the cosmos. Really? Yeah, that's me floating in between. It's like, it's quite interesting because there's people on the outside that are like, you know, just get a job. Yeah, when I get time for that. They don't understand the actual, I would say severity, but there's a bigger word for it. The actual, like, emotional, spiritual, and mental impact that the work I'm recording daily is going to have on a global scale. I can't stop the work to advertise the work. I can't stop the work to get a job. I can't stop the work. You know what I mean? It's like I can't leave what I'm doing to pursue anything else but what I'm doing, because what I'm doing has a physical effect on me, which is actually healing me, giving me an ability to make it from day-to-day situations, whereas with my broken, shattered mind, the way that it is, I can't proceed further. Everything outside of me makes me hurt and shuts me down, and it takes me hours of time to pull myself out. I'm psychologically damaged from the fucking trauma that I've been through. What keeps me healthy is dealing with them one fucked up fucking memory at a time. The outside world triggers these repressed memories. I cannot avoid it. You're going to move me to an island and the mind will never turn on and I'll never remember anything bad that ever happened to me? Or for the rest of my life, I'm going to have to remember everything bad that happened to me, just like the rest of you. But I found a way, spiritually, to stop it, no matter how much it comes up and how different and what the scales of it are. I have to do this daily for my own sanity, my own emotional health and mental health, because every time one of these fucked up memories come in, they're so detrimental. Because first off, it's considered a memory because it's stored in my mind of something I did, and I have proof of it. But I have never emotionally experienced something of this magnitude, and I am mentally stuck in this repetitive memory until I can figure out a way to process my way out and back into the 3D world, which is regular reality that I'm based on. I don't have a choice, but the way that I figured out how to handle it has given each layer of this gives people across the globe an opportunity to see someone with the same experiences handle it, so they can all learn collectively how to handle their repressed memories, no matter what they are, and the feelings that come up with them. In doing just that, you free your soul. And the next part that comes is all of these clear senses or divine gifts that most people don't have access to because they're still caught in their mind and their emotions. I found the bridgeway, no matter how you look at it, either by science, medicine uses this the same way, or by fucking, you know what I mean, religion. I have found the bridgeway right there to free yourself from the fucking experiences of this world and have a free spirit. But it is intense psychological work that I myself cannot step away from. Right? And that's what we do over here. And it's extremely intriguing and entertaining. But the whole point of me sharing this with you people is so you tackle your own thoughts with the same method that I am teaching you. There is not another way but to work through the constructs of your mind and exit that to get into the subconscious. And that is where you can connect with the divine and whatever that means to you. Whether that is your God, whoever they may be, the patriarch, whoever, your grandparents, whatever that means to you. The afterworld, the place that we came from and the place that we go to. You access that when you get out of your mind. I always am out of my mind. In the sense of, there was the mind, the personalities, and then they stopped. So now all I get is like tokens, memories, certain things will just pop in there, right? I walk through life as I've never walked through life before. I have certain knowings, you know what I mean? Like I have memories of streets and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But there's just a lot of blacked out. So I can move through life and it looks like I've got this all together and it's all good. But in most scenarios, I'm experiencing all of this for the first time. Emotionally, especially. I've never felt like what it feels like to do this because I had no emotional response. That was part of my trauma response, was not to feel emotions. So no matter what I'm doing, it's a little bit over emotional for me because I've never experienced this sensation. Now, when you're that sensitive, that's where those clear senses come in. You're oversensitive. A clear sense is like extra level sensitivities. You know what I mean? You can hear, you know what I mean? I can hear, you know what I mean? Here's an example. This is true. There's a tarot reader that I started with in the first level. It was called her. I still speak of her. I get mad at her because she steals my content like everyone else. Magnetize yourself. Okay? She has a channel where she does subliminal messages to do, you know what I mean, cleansings, right? Affirmations and subliminal messages. So I used to listen to them and they would be like, I think I listened to birds or oceans or something. It got to a point where I would put these headphones on and I would listen to the music just like you guys. But then I started hearing the people talk. I was like, magnetize yourself. It's not even you. There was a man speaking in a low voice behind the ocean. I can hear him speaking the affirmations. I never heard him before. I would just put on the sounds because she said it was good healing, 7 chakras, your twin flame union. I'd make these playlists and I'd, put these things on when I would go to sleep because they said it was good for you to feed your subconscious, all this bullshit. She has a channel for it, right? And it got to a point where I could literally hear the frequencies. They're low tone frequencies of people speaking extremely lightly. And that's what the affirmations are. So low. You can't hear them. But I could. And that's an example of how my hearing is. So literally I can hear people's frequencies. I know this noise to be connected with this person. Why? Because when I'm with this person, the noise gets louder. When I'm talking to this person, the noise gets louder. This person makes a noise. This person gives me a feeling. I know it's feeling. This feeling is connected to this. Really? Imagine. It's kind of something like that. It's like, I've said it since the beginning. There is nothing going on in my head right now. Nothing? No. I'm talking directly from my heart. I'm not thinking. Until I tell you I'm seeing something. There was a bunch of outages earlier today with all kinds of services. Like over fucking something like 1 million things went down today. And then and something about hearing. I can hear the music. I can hear this. I can, you know what I mean? I can hear the angels. I can hear Pac talking. I'm seeing Kobe Bryant. I'm seeing these, and that's where it is. I'm a clear channel because there's silence in my mind. But think about that, right? So when I go to do something, my mind's not telling me. I just do it. And then I feel what it feels like to do this. And there's many things that I swear I've never done before, but I've done many times. It's like, you've done this before. Each time I do it, I have a different sensation to it. Each time I do it, I feel differently. I see more, I feel more, I hear more. Really? It's all senses. It's not about thinking. It's not about logical thinking where I'm processing in that sense. Now, that's another thing I do, because I don't have a thought about what's happening in front of me. What were you thinking? I wasn't. I was watching like a kid. I'm just sitting here like a kid, watching things happen, trying to come up with a thought. What was that? And then my ego might turn on and say, that was a whole ass fucking prostitute, and that was a fucking this, and she's a bitch, and she's a whore, and this is a fucking cunt, and this and that. Like, whoa, that's what that was? If it comes in, it doesn't have the best answers. But typically, no. I'm coming up with new thoughts as I sit here and I view the world through my eyes. How is that possible? Personality disorder? All of the parts of me that experience life, I want to say, are dead. The voice that kept all of that memory are gone. I only get images of terrible things. That's it. Well, that's not true. I'm seeing my Google, I'm really grateful for always sharing my phone with my kids. It's the best thing I ever did, bro. Because my kids would play with the phones, and my daughter especially, there's a million pictures of her and all her little playing in the room with her phone. She would record videos. Hey guys, she would take pictures. She would make artwork and take screenshots. There's all kinds of great memories of shit like that. Facebook kept a lot of memories for me, so I can see a picture and then I can be taken back to that place. But I don't have a full life. I'm just picking up pieces of it, and they're terrible fucking pieces, bro. And it's like I'm trying to, go forward in this life, but every time I go forward, there's this broken piece of my past life that is so triggered that won't let me go forward. Really? And I'm just sitting there like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong? What's wrong? Why am I feeling like this? What happened? I can't see what happened. My body panics. I get the feeling. The feelings, and that's why there's this story. It's like, there's this book that they say that I've never read. The body keeps the count. My body remembers this, dude. And that's what happens, like going back to sex. My body shuts down. The mind shuts down first, and then the body shuts down to where I have no remembrance. I can't visually see it, and I can't feel what it felt like. But I know I was there. I've got 4 kids. I know I had sex, lots of it. I have these twisted memories of being bent over and all these weird fucked up memories of being naked with these people. I have no physical, sensational understanding of what that felt like. I have no memory of going into it, coming out of it, or doing any of it other than these traumatic memories of sexual abuse that pop in my head. And then I'm like trying to go out there and get married and make babies with these fears. I'm trying to experience a man for the first time. And all I can see is these fucked up shit that men have done to me. Do you know how fucking twisted this is to live in this body? Jesus Christ almighty. I'm trying to get a fucking kiss for my life, and I'm getting scared all the time of everything. Are you serious? Yes. The one thing I want the most is the one thing I fear the most. And it's actually my fucking destiny. It's like, I just want to scratch this off forever, ever. It would be so much easier to just be Mother Mary. Mother Cabrini. Motherfucker, dude. Why can't I just be a priest that doesn't have to have sex and have more kids? What is this tied to? I don't know. Actually, I do. I had abortions. Is everybody doomed? I don't know. But that's what they keep telling me. Really? Yup. You owe us 2. Was it to those men? No, it's not. It has nothing to do with our lives. It has to do with the lives of the contract. I said, which is part of my family's contract. I'm one of 6. My mom's one of 6. My brother had 6. I'm supposed to have 6. I'm destined to have another boy and another girl. It's just destined. Seriously, I swear to God. I'm going to be the oldest if I don't get on with this. It's not that I don't want to. You can see I'm fine with doing it until, you know what I mean, the mind fucking starts freaking out. It starts remembering what it was like for me before, and I can't do it. I'm going to label this, write this down, Malia. PTSD explained fully. This is what happens when you have a traumatic event and it just keeps affecting your day-to-day life. How many have I had? I don't know. We're still digging. Good God. There's something having to do with that truck, bro. I think it scared me because when I was 15, they're showing me the bus. I was scared. I was always scared. When I first went to Mexico, I was 15. Now, there's barrios, there's neighborhoods, there's malandros, which are, you know what I mean? These are fucking serious ass killers, bro. These are the scary shit that they put on the noticias, the news and shit. These are real ass, young ass teenage men and women that do unbelievable things in their countries, you know what I mean, to salvage, you know, a way of life. And one of them was called, they're called down there, they were called 5,000, which is what, 5,000. And they were very dangerous, and they lived right by his grandmother's. They owned that corner. They owned it. So as soon as he took me down there, you know what I mean, I look like a Hollywood fucking Walk of Fame girl, blonde hair, fucking big tits, I'm in high heels, I'm like the shit, bitch. And he takes me down there, and right away, bro, they bring him out, and they were like negotiating, and they wanted to buy me from him. For reals? Yeah. For how much? 18 kilos. Of what? Dope. You remember that movie called Traffic? I seen all that shit really happen during my fucking earliest years. I watched that shit go across that border. I watched all of it. I've seen everything. I know exactly how the cartels work and all that, bro. These guys aren't part of it. They're little street guys, but, you know, the guys are the guys and up to the meadow, and that's how it works. And as soon as I got there, they tried to buy a bitch. And that was dangerous. And that was always, you know what I mean, like, when she said he was trying to get her in the fucking car with him, that just panicked me. It's like, dude, that's all it takes, bro. That's all it takes, bro. For a girl, you look at fucking Ted Bundy, look at them all, bro. They get you in the car, it's over, bro. They get you in the car, it's over. Something happened to me. I don't know what happened. I was in San Diego, and something happened, and I got in his car, and I ended up in Las Vegas. And I don't know how I got home, and I don't know what happened in Las Vegas, bro. But I remember being kind of panicked and trying to find my way home. It happened in the middle of the daytime, bro. One of the homies rolled up, and I don't know what happened. But by later on that night, I was panicked, and I was running through the streets trying to get home. I can remember the hotel. But I don't know what happened. I didn't remember that till right now, by the way. You could say that it's these people where I'm at, it makes it worse. That's what God put me here for. He put me in hell. They don't cause me hell. I pity them because they're me. They make me face my own hell. Nobody knew that happened. I was back the next day. I didn't tell nobody what happened. I just know I was in Eastside. That's all I know. What was I doing? I don't know. I can't remember. It just shows me pain, bro. It just shows me where I'm hurting. It doesn't show me. Once in a while I'll get a good memory, but not usually. All that's stuck in my head is all this pain. I don't know what happened to Diana, bro. But I can tell you a couple of details that'll make you cringe. She said she grew up in a trap house. Her mom died in a house fire. Her ex-husband that turned out to be a homosexual is 30 years older than her. Those details alone, with no more backstory, is enough to know that she's not so well. Morgan's story, I don't really know it. There's a lot of pieces to it that's not very nice. Not very nice. But basically, her family moved from Detroit. They moved out to fucking, I think it was something like stupid, like Highlands Ranch or something. Somewhere in the suburbias to give her a better life, but that didn't work out at all. And she ended up in the fucking boroughs of fucking Commerce City. I don't know if she stayed here for all those years. I'm not really sure. I didn't piece it all together. God gave her a download one night when she was sleeping, showed her my whole life. She came to me the next day. She was like, damn, dude, I saw what happened to you. Well, that's cool. I haven't really seen it all myself. I had a pattern and a behavior that you can see now, and that's why I was so upset with myself today. It's like I would just let shit happen and never tell nobody, never deal with it, never process it, just act like it didn't happen, no matter what it was. I would just run away and try to hide from whatever happened and completely forget about it. And it worked. It was a lifestyle. But I just kept getting re-abused. I was still ignorant to what was happening. People kept taking advantage of me. I kept getting myself, you know what I mean, in bad relationships. I was staying in the abuse because I didn't even realize I was, you know what I mean, a victim or a part of it or any of this. I really wish I could just be healed and be in a good relationship. And it has nothing to do with the person on the other side, but it has to do with the life I had before I met you. It's really holding me back, bro. Enough that it makes me want to give up pretty much every Monday because it's so hard on a Monday. Mondays are the hardest days of my week to stay loving towards a man. It was the most Lilith day of my life. Really? Fridays, I'm ready for it, bro. I'm ready to sit here and cry and get some fucked up memory. I'm fully mentally prepared for that shit. I expect it on a fucking Wednesday, and sometimes I expect it when these planets are moving. But the hardest day of my week is always a Monday. And that's why God tells me not to fucking go out and do too much. Don't be out there doing too much. You need to sit down with yourself. And that's because I am the goddess of the moon, and as I sit here in all of these emotions in the ocean, I drowned in that shit. The guy was a creepo, and I didn't say anything. Which allowed him to be a creepo to other people. And it ended up coming back to being my closest friend that I'm protective over, because she's so fucking vulnerable. And in her vulnerability, I see my own. It's like, you know, and it's funny, because as I collapsed, she was strong. And she's like, if you need anything, you know what I mean? If I can walk to the store, and that's how it is, you know, I'm like, you know, it's like, that's what you really need, and it's part of the healing journey, not like we're going to sit here suffering, but we're going to sit here and push ourselves to, you know what I mean, to get through this. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's an empowerment, an empowering connection versus a disempowering connection, where it's like we get together and we just pull each other, we just stay down. We're just gonna stay down. I didn't, and I apologized to her. I apologized to her about my insensitivity to reacting to what he said. She said, I didn't know how to react either. I was like, I didn't understand how that was going to affect you later. And because I had so much going on in my personal life, I didn't allow it to affect me. And, I realized that it's just fuck, bro. There's a word that I'm searching for to call it. There's a word. It's like a silence culture. It's not the word silence, but it's in that category. There's a culture of us that don't speak up. Don't speak up, and that's because we were taught. You know what I mean? We were taught. There's something about it. As far as the division and integration here, real and raw honesty with yourself is needed. When the separation oracle card comes up, you have important decision to make. When you go through the internal growth, your external must also shift. The separation phase in alchemy is like finding the courage to let go of a draining contract, finally taking a step in a project, or stopping harmful habits. This is about accepting a new love. Accepting a new love into your life that may not be your typical type, but is for your highest good. You've gained clarity, and now it's time for you to choose yourself first. Cutting ties of discord. Those who are meant to come along for the ride will accept the new version of yourself that you are stepping into. And that's really what it is. It's like, are you moving on? I mean, I love you, but yeah, I think that's what this means. They resent me for not staying there until they figured it out. But look at how long it's been and you still haven't figured it out. How can you be mad at me that you can't figure this out? This is the third stage. The third stage of the alchemical Magnum Opus that cleanses the soul through mystical element of air, and is associated with Mars. What's tomorrow? Tuesday, ruled by the planet Mars of action. That's what I told her. I was like, don't. She was gonna do laundry. I was like, wait till tomorrow. I'll have more energy. The damn day gives you energy. In erotistic symbolism, the modern tarot, air is associated with the swords, which actively cuts and severs to affect change. In alchemy, separation is the cleansing of matter through the process of cutting or separating. After this stage, you're left with the parts of yourself that you want to keep and continue with your ascension path. While it can feel painful to let go, lightening your load is necessary for your healing journey. That's what I told Diana. She got herself in the same situation. Her former boss, and just happens to be a Scorpio, is like, confesses his love, but he's married. And she's like, you have to make a decision. And that's what it is. It's like they either got to let us go or they got to let them go. And that's the situation. Well, then we got to let you go, dude. Don't be mad. Somebody's got to get let go in this. And that's me letting go. Why? Because it's the right thing to do. Separation phase, shadow work. Writing is a powerful form of inner work in alchemy. I told her I'm going to go give her one. We have so many of these journals. She said she needed one. Take time to relax in a private space with a pen and journal. I do right here, audio journal. Separate the page into 2 columns of yes and no. Decide what actions, people, situation, thoughts are aligned with your inner self and add those to the yes column. This is good for intuitional work. let your gut tell you where to put the names. You're like, oh, they're yes. No, is that what your gut's saying? Anyways, it's true. And put what is not aligned in the no column. After, meditate on your thoughts. The answer to your question lies within. It's time to identify what in your life no longer aligns and what belongs in the world you are creating. Like, really? Really? Let's just throw some fucking fire on the fucking log. It is so cold outside. We needed a fire. I needed a fire pit so bad. I actually have one. I could have. It's a little windy for that. I really needed a fire pit to burn this away. If I could just stare into the fire, that would be better. But that's what this is about. This isn't working. Not, you know what I mean? Not speaking up isn't working anymore. You know what I mean? Not talking about all the shit that's wrong here is not working. Us not, you know what I mean? All of this. It's like God is always asking me to stand up more and more. Not just for myself, but for everybody. And that's really, it starts with yourself. But ever since the beginning, I remember the first conversation. No, your feelings matter. You're important. Your feelings matter. Your feelings matter. You're important. That was where this first started. And that's where we always are. It's like, no, this is important. Your feelings matter. I'm just like, you're called to do the right thing. That's why I said I do not even want to wake up tomorrow. We'll have to face this tomorrow. It doesn't just go away today. We'll have to really take action on it tomorrow. Mars, take action. The emails went out. It was right at shift change. Sent out the emails and all that shit, bro. They're like, yeah, we'll deal with that tomorrow. I'm sure you will. It's a serious battle tomorrow. And it's not one battle. I can't just be in, like, and what about this guy? In this situation? And this? And I told her when I first met this bitch, I said, I'm the High Priestess Phoenix. I'm the see-all, know-all, tell-all. Diana's scared. She's scared about retaliation in the building. The world we live on operates off of fear. That's what keeps you from doing things. It's like you back out because you're afraid. You're afraid. We're always afraid of what's going to happen. What's going to happen if I say this? What's going to happen if I do this? And yet we're supposed to be grown and able to, you know what I mean, make our own decisions freely. But there's always the fucking outlook of the consequence for someone else. We can't make that decision without taking into consideration everybody else's opinion. And then it gets so boggled down by all the people that you have to take into consideration that in the end, you no longer consider yourself or this whole situation. We pulled that card on Saturday, which was abandoning oneself. It's just the first fight. When I'm asked to fight a fight I've never fought before. And once you do it, you're empowered to have this fight again or even bigger fights. And that's where it is. It's just like, Jesus Christ. I'm always that, you know, fucking Karen, let me talk to your manager type shit. You know, I've taken it that far, but now we're taking it far. How far? All the way, bro. Because as much as I'm fighting little battles here, spiritually, I'm fighting enormous battles with fucking government. Really? Yeah. Because when I wasn't focused on this, that's where I'm putting all my spiritual energy and all my witchcraft. So it's like, Jesus. But in the essence, it's like, you don't understand. You can't do that type of work without doing this type of work. I can't get back to that work. I can't get back to that right mindset. I can't get back to my craft until I do my craft. It's not one or the other. They're together. The mind, the body, and the spirit. You have to keep them each aligned. I have to tend to my body. I have to keep it, you know what I mean, going and happy and functioning well. I have to keep my mind, which controls my emotions, in the body, functioning and heard and nurtured and well. In order for me to do anything in this world or in the 5D or above. It's harnessing all the elements right there. It's the whole thing about alchemy. It's taking my thoughts, which is the air, taking my emotions, which is the water, okay? Taking my willpower, which is my body, how I push it through this bitch, taking my fucking, my spirit, which holds it all together, right? And then pushing it through the reality, which is, the earth elements. I gotta take all these elements. But through those, I'm able to, as we said, manifest, where I can think it and it can be. But what am I thinking about? Little things like you're thinking about, or I'm thinking about something much bigger. Now, when I'm trying to think about impossible things like that, my limited mind gets in my way. So I have to work through these limiting thoughts to create this, as you've seen in my cards, to make it happen, what you see is happening, this holy union. I'm still facing all kinds of shit. Now, with or without you, I've got to face this. Even if we were in a relationship last week, this was going to happen. I still needed to face this. The time that's spent here, as much as it's hell for me, it's time well spent, because as much as it's painful, all of these memories are painful memories that are stopping me. The more that I can get out, the more I can go forward. So, it's what I need. And that's, I can't avoid it. I try to avoid the twin flames because they trigger me. Everything triggers me. It's a mirror, and that's what I read to you guys earlier about the mirror effect. I'm Mirabelle, the High Priestess. A mirror to everything, and everything is to a mirror, where we shine back either our pain or our healing. You shine back pain to me, you shine pain to me, and I shine back healing. Really? Yeah. You reflect pain to me. When I look at you, I see pain. Whose? Well, yours at first, but then mine. So then I face mine, while looking at you, which is nothing a mirror of me. I face myself, the deepest, most inner parts of myself. And I heal it, and I look back at you as the healed version, and you look away. That's what's happening out here. You're blinded by your light. Darkness flees when light appears. It's like you're right there by my side as I'm going through it, but when I come back healed on the other side, you're nowhere to be found. And that's that separation there. I'm still here. Where'd you go? Oh, you went to go back to your old ways? You can't keep up with my new way? I don't know. That's just the way it is what I heard. Hey, Pac. Well, that's a good sign. I heard Pac. That's a good sign. Coming out of it. And that's where it is like you'll be so deep in it. I was only about a couple hours into it. I'm like, oh God, I don't feel like I'm ever going to come out of this one. What about tomorrow? What about the day after? What if I never get out of this feeling? What if I can't ever get off of this porch? I can't even go to the store. I feel like I'm gonna die. Really? Yeah, it happened. While I'm sitting there breathing in fucking sage, praying to God, make it go away. I'm grateful for my fucked up personalities that kept it all in, but they couldn't keep it in forever. What happened? Bobby. I could keep in all the pain, but once my heart opened, it couldn't take the love. I wasn't reminded by pain by him. I had all these feelings of love for him that made me face my pain. It made me wake up. I didn't wake up in pain, I woke up in love. And trying to pursue this love, all I found was pain. That's why I don't fuck with him, bro. I love him to death, but every time I get near him, that shit fucking kills me. Trying to get near him, after being around with him, leaving him, getting left over and over and over again. Such karma. The love doesn't leave. I just try to get away from the pain. This was a painful experience. It's such a painful experience. He had a good word for it. He says it's like ripping off scabs. Pretty much. I didn't know I was going to bleed all over the place like this. I never know how I'm going to act with him. I guess you could say, or anyone else. I don't. Like, it's that simple. I'm sitting with you, and you say something, and the next thing I know, I said something, and now I'm like, wow, I can't believe I said that. Well, here we go. And I just have to ride this out. The words, the feelings, whatever happens. I don't have this pre-recorded. I don't have a plan. I didn't know this was going to happen. I don't know what's happening. I'm just experiencing it. There's a lot happening right now. Really? Yeah. But then I can go into like an office space, go into a fucking interview, put on my face, and then the brain turns on and has all the right questions. And I know everything, and I'm all, you know, that, this, and the other. Really? It's in the personality. It just turns on. That's what, you know what I mean? People see this, and I am this. That's what Lisa was. But aside from all the broken shit that she was all great, but I'm stuck with all the fucked up memories and this and that. You have great memories of, you know, hanging out with me in the club, and you have great memories of fucking having sex with me, and you have great memories of us going on vacations, and everybody has great memories of me. I don't have great memories of me. Not one. I got all these fucked up memories of me. You guys love me. I'm over here hating me. I hate me. Sort of. That's how it started. How it would be looking sometimes. Oh my God. I hate my life. That's what I said today. I fucking hate my life. It's just a shit life. I hate it so well. Nobody ever knew. What the fuck? Try to come out of it, but fuck. You put that brain on, dude, and you can't get the fucking mask off. It's like I'm trying to pull the fucking thoughts out of my head. It's probably why I have no eyebrows. Seriously? Yeah, but I have luscious, beautiful hair. Thank God for that. Fuck. Welcome, right? I used to do this every day, you guys. I never got out of there. I said it was a book that did it to me. I just sit there crying every day about my life, bro. Every day it would hurt. All day it would hurt. I finally stopped hurting. Just like that, I can't get up to have a cigarette. And I drag myself outside, because I never smoke inside. I take one fucking hit of the fucking cigarette, and bam! Here's another fucked up memory. It happened like that for at least, I don't know, the first 6 months. Non-stop. And then there would be little breaks where it'd just be, that's where it is. It's like, oh, it's quiet. Oh, it feels so good not to think. Because all it is the brain is going off and I'm fighting it. Constantly? Fucking constantly. When it turns on. That's where it is. It's like, I'll be fine. And then, oh, here he comes. Here you come. You're gonna start my brain, make me start thinking about crazy shit. God, please don't make me think. Really? Yeah. I don't try to. And then I love it. He's like, don't overthink. Oh, God. That's the dumbest answer I ever heard in my life. You're telling Big Brain not to think? Shut up. That's impossible. It's like telling me not to feel. Don't feel so much. What the fuck are you talking about? That's all I do is feel and think. I am the mind and the emotions. What are you? Flashback. In the essence, I get really insensitive to the fact that they're so insensitive to the fact that I'm a scientist over here in a very sick body. Dealing with this very sick mind. Really? I mean, in essence, it's a lot of repairing it all the time. Yeah, so thank God that I'm repairing it, because I'd walk around just suicidal with negative thoughts all the time. I wouldn't have made it this far. I would never have made it this far if I didn't know how to alchemize a thought or a feeling. Today was pretty intense. What happened? I'm trying to relive it. Because that's what happens. It's like, oh, fuck, what happened? After she left, we were sitting there just fine about it, you know? And then all of a sudden it became a little bit too much. The more I sat with it. And by the time I went back through security, I was crying. And I was like, nah, dude, I should have done something. I should have done something. Why don't I ever do anything? What's wrong with me? It wasn't about the situation by that point. I was already on myself by that point. And I was like, you know, this is my fault. Like, I just don't ever fucking learn. Like, why didn't I tell nobody? Why didn't I do nothing? Like, this is fucked off. This is all fucked off. Right? And I was waiting for the elevator. And it was taking too long, and I was just sitting there crying in front of people, so I went and I took the fucking stairs. By the time I got up to the fucking 5th floor to give her the fucking paper, I was just like, dude, I'm fucking fucked off, bro. And I just slid down the wall in front of her. And I'm like, I feel like so fucking heavy, and this is just awful, and I don't know what's wrong with me. And why don't we tell? We weren't even gonna tell nobody, bro. What's wrong with us? Why didn't we tell nobody? And that's where it really was. I was really upset with the fact that, why didn't I just speak up? So it's like, it's not just this time, because I have a lifetime of things I never told anybody. So it's a lot pushing this. There's a lot more shame to this than you can possibly understand. And, she understands those feelings more, because she has to deal with them on a daily basis. You know what I mean? When my inner critic came in, I'm all, what the fuck is this? This was horrible. It was terrorizing me. It made me cry. You guys deal with that every fucking day of your life. I hadn't heard this voice terrorize me and make me feel so terrible and make me cry like that. I took care of that right away, but then I show you how to take care of that shit. And that's where it is. It's like, oh, I don't sit in that. I don't sit in that all day, but I recognized it. That's what I said. I remember this voice. It was like one of the personalities or something. I remember this voice telling me these things all the time. I remembered it. I had a faint memory of what the mind used to sound like. Right? I had a very fucking fractured mind, bro. And then it just, seriously, bro, it turned off. When? Mother Cabrini Shrine. You could say I was at the worst part of my psychosis by that time. What had happened? It was a couple days after Tree, when I'd let out my last personality, which I referred to as the Beast, which is my divine masculine, I know now. Right? It came out and it swung on him. And after that, all hell broke loose in my mind for like a couple of days. When I got up to Mother Cabrini Shrine, I'm so confused. I have journals for writing music. I'm ready to hike a mountain, and yet I'm at Mother Cabrini's shrine where I do, you know what I mean? I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm crying because I can't get my mind. It's pulling me all different directions. I can't focus on a thought. Part of me wants to do this. Part of me wants to do this. Part of me wants to do this. So now I'm sitting around with a backpack of all kinds of parts of me, and I'm just driving through the streets, and I don't know what I'm doing. And I end up at Mother Cabrini's shrine. And I walk into the gates, And I swear to God, as soon as I walked in the gates, it just went quiet in my head. And I sat down next to her door, and I could hear this faint noise of kids playing in there. And I cried real hard, and then I sat on a bench over there, and I had this imagery of a whole bunch of, you know what I mean, white entities on the hillside. I had this crazy vision that happened. And I was just really grateful because it was peaceful, dude. I was losing my mind. I couldn't control it by that point. I wasn't really fully in control of it before that, but this was getting really bad. I was crying. And when I left there, I thought it was temporary. You know what I mean? I just gained some peace. I was in a place of peace and quiet. When I left there, I kept waiting for it to turn on. I get in my car and I'm like, all right, what do I do now? Nothing. So I just went home. And I waited for it to turn on and tell me what to do. And I waited. And it never turned back on. I never heard another voice or thought in my head again. I was very scared. I woke up and heard all these voices of myself. I knew I was listening to all parts of myself all day. And then all of a sudden they were all gone. And I had no idea what to do. Because they, you know what I mean, they would just take over. This part of me would get dressed every day. This part of me would be, all right, now we're going this. Now I would just kind of be like, okay, I'm just kind of going with this. I didn't have any objections. I just watched myself operate. And then all of a sudden, the operating system went completely down. And that's when I'm sitting there, like, looking at my underwear. These are my underwear? Why do I wear these underwear? How come I don't have any underwear? I don't want to wear these underwear. They feel funny on me. Weird shit. I started making weird decisions. I didn't have the opportunity to before that. I just did whatever the mind said. So now I'm sitting there as a whole child trying to figure out what to do. I know I'm following patterns, so I know I'm supposed to pick up the kids, I'm supposed to make dinner. I have these patterns. It's time to go to work. It's this. So I'm trying to operate on the operating system without the brain telling me what to do. And meanwhile, the brain is popping up with harsh memories. Now the brain is turned off, and now all it's feeding me is harsh memories. And it starts kind of slow, but that shit intensifies enormously. And that's where I have been for like, I don't know, the last 3 years. But again, he puts me in places to trigger me, to make me remember. It literally, it's like, dude, this place is terrible for you. It's making you fucking very unhealed. It's making me heal, bro. I'm fine until they make me remember, and then the healing begins. What happens if I'm somewhere else and this happens? You know what I mean? I'm in a place of healing where I could just run to my room and fix this. It's not ideal. And that's where it's like, well, the other option is what? A mental institution? Do you think I'm at this point, as I always say to you guys, do you think I'm eligible for a disability check? Or I've got this in check and I just got to keep doing it? Do you think there's a therapist that can keep up with what I'm doing? As many as I'm doing in a week, is there a way that this therapist can keep up with me without watching my videos daily? Do I need to be put on medication to stop it or increase it? Right? Do you know what I mean? Is it keeping my children and myself in danger or in danger of someone else? And that's what this is about, a mental illness. Am I ill? Or if I just have, as they said, as we found out, was disassociated amnesia. And I'm going through the process of regaining my life back. If that's all I'm diagnosed with, then they're not going to put me in a fucking mental institution to sit around all day waiting for memories to come back. But in the essence, yeah, I'm very sensitive, and they come back in all different ways, shapes, and forms by just cruising through my outside world. I'd never been to Yuma, Arizona. That was, how much of my memory did I wake up there? How much of my memory did I wake up in? You know what I mean? I go to these places. He takes me to places that obviously are safe and secure where I can do this type of work. But yeah. And a lot of, busting people along the way. Douchebag over here has been doing this for a long time again. And I didn't know that he had talked to her. There was something about yesterday morning that felt off. He does it all the time where he just sits in his truck watching me. And I'm fully aware that he's watching me. And it was something about yesterday morning that was too much. I had no knowing that he had tried to fucking go after fucking her in the morning prior to me walking out there. My spirit did, but I didn't. It made me feel uncomfortable to where last night it came out of not nowhere, but in a dark place. I was already in a dark place. I was already in the dark night of the soul, and everything, all these dark truths come out when you're in there. Just like this fucking memory of Las Vegas. Once you get in there, bro, shit just starts pouring out. You start pouring out your fucking heart. So, whatever the case may be, like, yeah. I'm in the line of a long line of losers here, but I'm being called to be the one that stands up and stops the shit, stops the fuck shit. But I feel like, God is always making me stand up. And it's because naturally, as the rebellion, as Lilith, I am always ready to stand up. But in my flesh, I'm weak. My spirit is ready for it, but my flesh is weak. I can't even get this bitch to walk to the back of the building. I couldn't even walk it up the hill. We have no power in our flesh, but it's God who gives us the strength. He calls us to great heights, and we have to climb these mountains, bro. Why? It's not just about putting a flag up there, bro. Because that climb is for all the people that died on that mountain that never even climbed it, that died walking around it. The battles I fight are battles of everyday people that he calls me to fight and show them how to put up the, make this righteous fight inside their mind and against the world that we live on out there, to do the right thing, to be the right person, to be better. Somebody hears the call, and that's me. And there are others. And it's simple, always is simple, but it's anything but easy. It's a simple line of work, but it's not easy, dude. I could tell you, write it down in 10 little steps. According to that, the 12 gates. I can explain it. It's anything but easy. When you're, to free your spirit from the constructs of your mind. I'm not ready to read this card. I've given you already another hour of the dark night of the soul. We're going to keep this energy. It's present. We've got an angel here and a stone that is radiating a whole message that will make more sense when we're ready to receive that message. By the time I read that card, it'll be confirmation to everything that all of this has already been. I'm not ready to pull the light because I'm still in the dark. Fight the good fight. It's a self-healing journey of inside. It's all internal, bro. The outside's fine. For whatever reason, my house is actually even still intact. The kids are fed, everybody's clean, they all took showers. The world has not changed outside. But the shifts I make inside will change my outside world significantly. If I can fight this battle, I'm going to make this place a better place to live in. When I'm ready, mentally and emotionally ready to go down and talk to that director, I'm going to change this place forever. And that's what I'm being prepared for. Battles that are bigger than me, but need to be done for me. So just know that, right? When that's Gabriel, you can't say that angel's name without him making you stand in a holy purpose. That's all he's here to bring. If you know something else about him that I don't, I mean, seriously? And I had a vendetta with that angel since the beginning of time. You wanna befriend my enemy and then tell me some lies about him? Like I don't know him? He's not my enemy. He's just my brother. But that was stupid too, going back to Wolfman. You can't fake this, bro. And the more people that face their feelings and heal, the more, I was gonna say pussy-like you look, the more powerless you are to do this type of work. And it's not just divine feminine, let's meditate. To do this type of intense trauma healing that we call shadow work, only the bravest souls, because it's the soul that carries you through this. Your mind, you lose your mind, and it goes all weak. That's what you're doing, is fighting a weak mind and its limitations and expanding it and repairing it. And in doing so, that's how it is. It's a spiritual attack on the mind. And that's straight from your heart, by doing what your heart, honoring what your heart says, and having these big bad battles. Going back to Bobby, I love him to death, and he has that battle, and he wins. He's won it a couple times where he's standing right before me, and I'm standing before him, where we fought our minds. We fought all logic, we fought everything to stand before each other in the name of love. And then what are we going to do? I'm going to tear you apart. You know how hard I had to fight to get to you? How long do we got? Just kidding. That's terrible, isn't it, though? It really is. It's like, dude, do you know what I had to go through to get here? What? My mind? It's a battle. That's for the rest of you. What are we getting ready for? It's only Monday, bitches. We got a bad one coming on. We're building up, or we're close. I mean, I feel like we're opening a whole new can of whoop ass on this one. Will it turn off? No, I don't know. Tomorrow we got to take action on what we know today. Then what? Then we get new information on Mercury Day, which is what, Wednesday? And I believe there's a planetary alignment tomorrow, which is what? Mercury and Mars and the moon. I'm going to post right here. What did I say I was going to call this one? PTSD. Oh, God. Do you have PTSD? That's what they called it. I didn't even know what it was called. That's all it says in my file anyways. Really? Mm-hmm. Complex. I have complexities. Postpartum, whatever, traumatic stress disorder. I've been through some traumatic stress. It causes some traumatic disorder. It causes some stress in my life. But that's the cool thing about being a healer, is I can do this, dude. Give me an hour or two. I can do this. What am I going to need after? A hug? A bath? Something sweet? I was supposed to fast today. I started thinking, I was like, did I eat? Yes, I did. I did an enormous... I was grateful for that cheeseburger. I didn't start my fast, and that's okay. No, I was just feeling it. And that's really what it is. It's like, are there rules and stuff? Only the rules you put upon yourself. You know when you gotta do something, you know when it is and shit. And it's like, well, I had the best intentions to fast today, but I see that if I didn't eat that meal, I was gonna die. And that's where I was sitting here feeling all weak. I'm like, did I eat today? Like, I did. I was like, well, I'm gonna definitely have a pudding then. I was feeling pretty weak, bro. The body was hurting from all of this. It got overwhelmed. Like, once the thoughts started processing, the body, like, got overstimulated, bro. Yeah, I'm all done. Hey, I'll catch you guys tomorrow on some Mars energy. We're gonna take action on this bullshit. It was a fun one. Laters, haters. Laters, haters.